Do you know, even if no one has said anything, even if this person hasn't spoken up yet, some things don't need explanation. You notice the way this person avoids looking you in the eye for too long, or how they glance at you for just a moment longer before looking away. It's fear of giving in right there, where nothing can be pretended anymore. This person changes when you arrive. They close off, or they open up too much, but they never stay neutral. There's something about you that disrupts everything this person tries to keep under control. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's the discomfort of someone who feels, someone who hasn't been able to move on. This person tried, did everything to move forward, created distractions, forced smiles, avoided your signs. But what is real sticks in the silence. And you remained in the routine, in the comparisons this person makes without realizing, in the absence that appears for no reason, in the songs, in the words, in everything, and now it's spilling out. It can't be hidden anymore, it can't be disguised any longer, you notice. In the way this person responds to you, in their eagerness to see your message, in the concealed hope for contact, it's love. Even if it has no name, even if this person is still running from the word, but inside, this person has already surrendered. They've lost the battle against what they feel. They're tired of protecting themselves from what is real, yet they're still afraid. Afraid of not being reciprocated, afraid of losing themselves in you. But the feeling is already laid bare, even if it doesn't come with a declaration, even if it comes filled with pauses, silences, and hesitations. This person can no longer disguise it. Even while trying, they reveal it. In their gaze, in the hesitation to pull away, in the way they always end up coming back. You felt it, and you still feel it. Even when you try to convince yourself it means nothing. Even when you attempt to rationalize, to measure, to understand. You notice what's there. Even without a name, even without certainty, there's something in this silence. There's something in this distancing. There's something about this confusing reappearance that isn't a coincidence. This person is still trying to run away from you. Not out of disdain, not out of indifference. They run away because being close is too dangerous, because being with you disarms them, because the very idea of looking at you again, without any filters, exposes everything they've spent months trying to hide. But you already know, since that day, since that strange reaction, since that stammered response, since that look that lingered for a moment and then vanished as if it were guilty. You don't need anyone to confirm it. The truth is in the subtext, in the incomplete gestures, in the messages that lack context, in the inexplicable disappearances, in the silent returns. This person avoids you because they feel, because they get too close when they try to distance themselves, because they lose themselves just by hearing your name. And you noticed. Do you remember the last time you saw each other? The way this person's eyes hesitated to meet yours, the half-hearted smile, the rush to leave, as if fleeing from an internal fire. It wasn't indifference, it was fear. Fear of giving in, fear of exposing what pride still insists on hiding. But inside, there are no more disguises. This person still feels everything, maybe more than before, maybe with more intensity, maybe with the clarity that only distance can provide. You remained. You remained in the nights of silence. You remained in the absence that can't be filled by anyone else. You remained in the details that show up in others, but only remind them of you. You remained in the thoughts they try to push away. You remained in the places you shared. You remained in the songs that start unexpectedly. You remained in that inexplicable urge to call you, and now the feeling is spreading. It's slipping out of control, it's leaking through the cracks. This person is overflowing with thoughts of you. You notice it in the little things, in the change of behavior, in the frequency of their reappearances, in the contradiction between what they say and what they show, the imbalance between what they try to show and what they can't contain. This person might even deny it. They can pretend, they can silence it. But the body reveals it. The eyes don't lie. The absence isn't natural. When they are present, it speaks for itself. You're not crazy. You're not imagining things. What you feel has a foundation. It's real. If this has happened to you, comment. I needed to hear this. This person can't go on without thinking about you. You appear in the simplest decisions. You pop up in the most random moments, and when they least expect it, that memory comes flooding back. The touch, the scent, the voice, the way you spoke their name. There is something irreplaceable about you, something no one else has managed to fill. And this person is realizing that too late. But now there's no escaping it. The heart is screaming. The mind can no longer ignore. The body aches for you. The soul feels the void. And the attempt to erase you has become a burden. It has turned into exhaustion. It has become a lost battle. Because love has prevailed. It has defeated pride. It has conquered ego. It has overcome defenses, traumas, fears. It has crushed the attempt to be rational. This person has crumbled inside. They are torn between what they wish to feel and what they truly feel. And what they feel is you. You with all your twisted words, with the intensity that scared them, with the way you touched on points that no one else dared to, with a presence that needed no effort to leave a mark. You were too much to forget. And now, you are impossible to ignore. This person is preparing themselves. They may seem distant, they may seem cold, but inside, everything is falling apart. All that was built to avoid you is crumbling down. Each attempt to move on without you hurts more. Every new path that doesn't have your name turns into a dead end. Every new person only reinforces your absence. This person is trying to hide it, but love has become a labyrinth and you are the way out. If this makes sense so far, write yes below. You're going to notice that something's coming. You're going to feel, in the coming days, that something is changing. Because this person is surrendering slowly, with fear, even with shame, but they are. And you will notice through the signs. A message at an odd hour, a casual question, a shared memory without explanation, a timid attempt to get closer without appearing to feel too much. But they do, and a lot. This person still doesn't know how to talk. They still don't know how to act. They are still looking for courage, but love is already screaming inside. It no longer fits in their chest. They can't bear the silence any longer. You were the only thing that remained when everything else changed. And now, this person is coming back. Not out of need, but out of truth. For realizing that it can't go on like this. That there's no longer an emotional hiding place. That denial has turned into a lie. This person wants to reach out to you. They want to hear you. They want to see you. They want to know how you are. They want to tell you what they didn't have the courage to say before. And at any moment, this will happen. You will feel it. You will notice it. Because when love wins, everything changes. The eyes once again start searching. The energy realigns. Time begins to conspire once more. Now there's only one thing left. Be ready. Because this person is about to confess what they tried to hide from everyone, even from themselves. And when it comes, it won't be with pretty words. It will be with truth, with vulnerability, with an open heart, with a soul tired of pretending. What will you do when that moment arrives? Have you thought about it? Because it's coming, and it's coming heavily. It's bringing all that has been held back for too long. It's bringing pain, desire, longing, and relief. This person is going to return, but not as before. They will come back transformed. Because love has won, this person is coming back. But not with promises, not with rehearsed lines. They will return as someone who has descended into their own hell and realized that it wasn't the end. It was the absence of you. And that changes everything. Because now it's no longer impulsive passion. It's no longer need disguised as desire. It's no longer emptiness asking for company. Now it's awareness. Now it's truth. Now it's a pain that transformed into clarity. This person saw you leave and pretended it didn't hurt, pretended it was necessary, pretended it was a choice. But it was loss. And no one loses someone like you without sinking afterward. You've become a concrete absence. You've turned into an unavoidable void. You've become a memory that weighs on the shoulders. Not because you were perfect, not because you didn't both make mistakes, but because no one ever had the power to touch as deeply as you did. This person has come to terms with reality. And now, they can't escape the realization that they've lost you. You've become the measure, the comparison. You've become what no one else can be, And there's no disguise that can withstand this truth. It seeps out, it breaks, it implodes the most well-built pride. And you see, you notice, in the awkward glances, in the unwarranted irritation, in the message that almost came but was deleted, this person is broken inside, but they won't say it, not for now, because they're still scared, because they still think that showing it is losing the little control that's left. But the control is already gone. It's over. When feelings no longer obey, control becomes an illusion. This person is exhausted from pretending, from distracting themselves, from trying to replace you with someone else. You continue to be the point of return, the safe place they fled from because they didn't know how to stay, the love that scared them with its intensity. And that's where the pain lies, because now they know. They know what they had, they know what they lost, they know what they want back, but they don't know if there's still time, if you still feel, if you still wait, if you still care. And that's scarier than anything, because this person knows this time if they come, they need to come whole. You no longer accept crumbs, you no longer accept games, you no longer accept half measures. You've changed too. And this person realizes, they notice in your silence, in your distance, in the way you stop chasing after them. And what once was comfort has now become fear. Fear of having arrived too late, fear of being just another mistake, fear of no longer having space in you. If this touched something inside you, right, I felt it, because I know you felt it. This person is getting ready to speak, but doesn't know how. They've been rehearsing for weeks. They repeat 1,000 phrases in their head. They create possibilities, they erase them. They think about reaching out to you. They back out. They return. They fear your reaction. But the decision has already been made internally. This person will seek you out, because it can't go on like this. Because pride no longer serves any purpose. Because life has lost its flavor. You are the pause, you are the rest. You are the home they haven't had the courage to return to. But now, the time is approaching. It may come in a simple message, maybe with a hi, without context, maybe with a lone emoji as if asking for permission, maybe with a random phrase hoping you'll understand. Don't ignore it. Even if it seems small, even if it comes awkwardly, even if it is shy. This will be the greatest act of courage this person has ever had. And if you want, if there's still space, you can respond. But only if it's genuine. Only if you still feel it. Only if love has also won inside you. Because this time, it's all or nothing. There's no more middle ground, no more excuses, no more barriers. If love has triumphed on both sides, the reunion is inevitable. Healing is possible. The connection can still blossom. This person is coming, carrying everything they tried to hide. No filters, no masks, no rehearsals. And what happens after this will depend on what you still feel, on how willing you are, on how much you still believe. But one thing is certain, love hasn't given up. The energy between you hasn't disappeared. The connection hasn't broken. The story still breathes, even if muffled, even if silent, even if hurt. And it just needs one gesture, one glance, one response, one, I'm here. Because when love wins, everything that seemed lost finds its way back. Everything that seemed like an end becomes a beginning. Everything that seemed distant draws near. This person at this very moment is also restless, feeling, sensing. There's something in the air calling out, a kind of urgency, a kind of pain that doesn't hurt like before. It hurts differently. It's no longer the pain of loss, it's the pain of awareness. You must be trying to move on with your life. And this person is too, but there's something that isn't moving. There's a knot that won't come untied, a page that won't turn. Even surrounded by people, this person feels a void. Even amidst distractions, there's a fixed point of memory. Even while trying to occupy their mind, the heart still speaks your name. And that name weighs. It weighs in the songs. It weighs in the long nights. It weighs when they receive any news about you. It weighs when they see something you experienced together being relived in their memory, uninvited. You have become a symbol, not of perfection, but of truth. The only thing that was too real to be discarded. And this person notices. With each passing day, they notice more. You must be wondering, if it hurts so much, why haven't they come? I will tell you, because they are still battling a silent guilt, because they still think they caused you too much pain, because they still believe you might have moved on, because they still doubt they have the right to return. It's not pride, it's fear. Fear of not being forgiven, fear of not being desired anymore, fear of finding you cold, or worse, indifferent. But even with that fear, this person feels, and continues to feel you, like an energetic presence that can't be explained, like a subtle magnet that pulls in moments of weakness, like a constant echo even when silence seems absolute. This person tries to forget you, but every attempt ends in comparison, and you still win. You win in the scent that lingers, in the touch that left a mark, in the connection that no one else has ever replicated. And there are nights when they close their eyes and you appear, uncalled, unprovoked, unplanned. You simply come, with that look, with that voice, with that gentle strength of someone who doesn't have to try hard to be unforgettable. This person is going through a hidden grief, the grief of what never finished, the grief of what could have been, the grief of what still throbs. You can feel it too, can't you? Comment, "I feel it" from here if this text resonates with you. Every place this person visits comes with a question. What if she were here with me right now? With every laugh, every achievement, every moment of solitude, her name comes back. Her face appears. Her energy brushes against theirs. You're still present, even if this person says otherwise, even if she forces other connections, even if she refuses to confront her own longing. She feels it, in her skin, in her stomach, in her breath. This person still loves you, and she is closer to admitting it than you might think. She just needs a sign, a gesture, a space, a moment of courage to overcome the paralysis, and that moment is approaching. Can you feel that something is shifting in the air? Can you notice that there's an invisible movement happening behind the daily routine? Life is already starting to create openings. The reunion is being subtly orchestrated. Small events, strange coincidences, touches of fate that seem insignificant, but are everything. This person will return, not with all the answers, but with an open heart, with a surrendered soul, with the truth exposed in her eyes. And what happens when that time comes will depend on your listening, on your timing, on your willingness. Because true love, when it insists on staying, cannot be ignored. If you read this far, it's because you still feel, because you still hope, because you still want. And the truth is, this person feels the same way. If this spoke to you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs to feel this, and comment here. Love has also won in me.